there, if you're an older white person that lives in that area, it's maybe because you've been there since,
Right.
like you've been there. But I've never seen anything publicly where I feel like my kids or my family's been slighted because we're interracial. It's been more family over, especially in the beginning on my wife's side. Now,
Yeah.
now I tell my brothers-in-laws who are white, I'm their favorite. Like, bruh, like I'm their favorite. Y'all can't hold a candlestick. They love me more. Like it's a joke. It's a joke. But yeah, that's not it's not the way that it was. But yeah, there's definitely hurdles we had to overcome and realities that we had to like be ready to. And my wife, she she is the roles have flipped where she's like sometimes she's been the only white person in a room. And I asked her later, like, how'd you feel? And she's like, it wasn't like it wasn't until later, like I'm into it where I'm like looking around, she's like, I'm the only non-black person here. And I'm like, yeah, but how's that make you feel? It's just like, that make me feel anyway. I'm just aware of it. Like you're just okay. I'm just aware.
Got put on for the squad. That's how I feel. When I got put on for the team, if I'm here by myself.
This is so funny. But then there's kids, some of her students don't believe she's white. They believe she's light skinned. And she, if y'all see a picture of my wife, she's white. She got.
I mean, yeah, but still though, like that's the perspective in PG County. Like it's like that ain't no white lady. Like
right, exactly.
I seen Heaven's mom. I'm like, she light skinned, huh?
She light skinned. She albino. Like she not.
No, she's white. I said, nuh-uh. Like it's just the PG County. Like that's go up in PG County. It's like unicorn sometimes. Like because I live, I guess in Upper Marlboro, so like Largo area, all that, like right around Upper Marlboro, Scarborough Heights, Largo, Mooresville. Like I'm right in that, that area. So it's like. For me, growing up, dog, I didn't have any white teammates till I got to college. Ever.
Sam Bowie, I had him.
Didn't. That's the only time we ever saw any white people in PG County. That's when we played the Bulldogs, bro. Them seeing them in nasty orange helmets you got. But yeah, man, I was kind of like, just like that's crazy, like that you said that. But I think of this scene in the movie Glory Road when what's his name? Jerry is complaining about taking a back seat to all the brother men playing on the team. He's like, you don't think it's hard taking a back seat to you every day and not da. And Willie Worsley says, welcome to the back of the bus, white boy. And I thought that was like the funniest line, and it just makes everybody in the movie theater go nuts because it's like, if you put white folks in the position of ours just for a second, they can't handle it. Right. The pressure is immense. They're like, wow, all these people are doing this and they're looking at me funny and doing this and doing that and that and that and that and that and that. And I'm like, that's what we live in. But I want to kind of give it I want to give some of the black folks here. Because I want you guys to understand this because me and Dion both, I've been heavily immersed in white culture, going to Concord University, and now my wife is half white. So when I go to North Carolina, we talk about possum kicking and whatnot. And, and I shot my first gun in North Carolina. Like, it's just a different culture, right?
Right.
And, my mother-in-law is white and my father-in-law is white. Eric is a great guy. Miss Parker's awesome. Like, they don't treat me like, they love me more. They took me out to eat when Heather wasn't there. We went and got food. They know I like seafood, so they took me out to feast, baby. Right. But it's like, I love that about them. But I want you guys to understand something. PG Countyans, my fellow brothers and sisters, if you're listening to this, do not make the mistake of taking the thing that you hate the most, which is racism and prejudice and discrimination, and doing it right back. Yep. We don't make progress when we take the same views that we hate and we go ahead and just turn them to white folks. So every white person you see, you hate. Every white person you see is evil. It's no different. If you realize it, take a step back, leave the anger, leave it right now. Don't cut this off. Hear me out. Think about it. Why do you hate? What is racism historically? Judging black folks by the color of their skin and saying they're inferior or they're not this, not that, making judgments. So when you see a white person, now granted, when I see police lights, I still get nauseous and nervous. But I will not disrespect a white person just because they're white. But I want to encourage you guys to think the same way. My dad is as pro-black as they come, but he's like, I'm gonna treat people the way that they treat me. Facts. And I even encourage you to be above the line in certain situations. Like if somebody, it ain't worth it. If somebody calls you the N-word and talks about you, and you put your hands on them, who's going to jail for a long time for assaulting a white person? You. You know, you can't go to judgment like he called me. I mean, it's PG, so I'm not going to say it.
Right.
But he called me this name. He gonna be like, oh, well, since he degraded you by calling you a racial slur, you are off. Right. No, you're going to jail. So, like, I want you guys to consider that. Like, look at them the way that you want them to look at you. They don't just assume, oh, this white person don't like black folks, or this white person is a bigot, or this white person is that. We and Dione work in the, for FCA where it is predominantly white culture. It is, but do we have to walk on eggshells there? No. We speak up when we feel like something's wrong. Yes, and do our peers respect us for that? Absolutely.
And we love working for FCA and with FCA.
And our goal is to bridge that gap,
right? Because
it's not the fact that white folks are just evil people; it's they were raised a certain way, or they're just naive. So how about instead of hating them, we educate them? Because I found out that a lot of them just don't
know.
They just
it's not a bad thing, right?
If a kid comes up, like I had a conversation with a guy one time. I'm like, why is it that when you bring a black kid up, you have to say that he's well spoken, comes from this neighborhood, has all this stuff, but when you bring up a white kid, you simply just say his name? He was like, he kind of like did one of those. And I'm like, you realize what you're saying is that you have to mention that he's well spoken because the stereotype is that black folks from the inner city aren't.
And he won't be accepted, therefore.
Why can't you just say, here's Charlotte Shepard here to talk to you guys about the impact of FCA. Here's Shep, he's an awesome kid, well spoken, 4.0, awesome athlete, comes from a great family. Don't sell me.
Right.
I am not on the block. I am not on you are not buying me.
Right. And I think they think they're doing you a service.
No, you're not.
But they don't understand that there is anytime you separate somebody because of race, you don't think that you're being race, but you're doing it based upon race. Yeah. You're not saying, okay, and here's Dexter from so and so school, and here is Shepard. I'm not Shep. Here's Shep, who is from Anacostia High School, one of the roughest neighborhoods. You're like,
what is all that got to do with me?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Now, like that's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's my goal. Is I'm interacting with both, and I see that some, down south in certain places, they just don't care about stuff like this, or they can't see it, or they cannot see it at all. They just don't. What they hear in history class, what they hear in history class. But when I was learning history class, I was correcting because I knew it was wrong. That was me. I was the power to the people kid.
So many half-truths.
Christopher Columbus, he didn't do anything. Sorry, guys.
Right.
Holiday. But my mom was like, he ain't do nothing. Things like that. But it's the truth because he didn't.
He didn't.
But here it is. He discovered something on accident and he's famous.
Right.
That person discovered something on accident. He getting shot.
Right.
So that's the difference, man.
Yeah.
Like, understand that the first thing we have to acknowledge, like Dione said, that we do have an issue in this country, and there is a problem. The reason why you see so much aggression towards white folks, if you're white and you're listening, is that the fact that we struggle as black folks sometimes to get you guys to acknowledge the fact that there is a problem. When you undermine that there is a problem is where you see heated arguments. So I'm not going to judge you or say that you're less than because you're white, but I'm going to tell you need to acknowledge what's going on in this country so that we can work together to end it. That's the only way we can do it. But as long as you keep saying, oh, well, he shouldn't have fought with the guy. What?
Right.
You wouldn't fight for your life? He shouldn't have been wearing a hoodie. You wear a hoodie and don't think twice about it. Well, he shouldn't have talked back to the officer. Every time you get stopped, you tell the officer, I didn't do that. But he don't shoot you. You don't have to teach your kids how to act in front of police. My parents do.
Me too.
Don't reach for anything. Don't say anything. Keep your hands on the wheel. Yes, sir. No, sir. You don't have to have that conversation with your kids. I was in a car with a kid in college, and it was a DUI checkpoint. We all got checked, and he's like, why are we getting stopped? I said, if you don't shut up right now.
Right. I
turned around and got real hostile real quick. I said, bro, shut up or get out because I'm not going to jail on your court. Not happening. We not getting out this car. And I'm not calling my mom for no cell. Ain't happening. Or better yet, her son on the news, on the ground, in the street because you acted ignorant. So shut up and let me talk.
Right. And I
Like
think
it's
what
just like
you speaking towards the predominant if PG County residents or people who are black or brown listen to this, that you don't want to respond with reverse racism, where the minority is being racist to the majority. Like we make up what 13%, less than 20% of the country. So yes, there's not a lot of us compared to the majority, but we don't want reverse racism. I used to see that. When I was in school, elementary school, that the kids would make life hard on the white teachers, especially when I went to, depending on the elementary school I went to, because they were white. And I'm like, that was so backwards to me. Like, that doesn't make anything better. I was thinking about we're going to get more trouble. Like, you're not.
They're going to have more of a stigma. We're going to have more of a stigma now.
Exactly. And so my mom, she told us, don't act your color, don't act your stereotype. And if you've never had to put on because of your race, if you never had going to something that you have to like be above because of how people are going to perceive you, then you don't understand.
Right.
You're never going to understand. You should have empathy, but I know what it is when I walk into a room and I'm the only black guy and I have to combat everyone's stereotypes. Like I have to. Like I need to shut it all down. Like
instantly.
I got to. I can't, because I'm trying to break their norm. I have to break what they believe. And that's me being a Christian. That's me being a male. That's me being a former athlete. That's all that stuff where you're like, oh, he's not smart. All those stereotypes. Like I want to break it all down because I'm not holding any stereotypes against you when I'm coming into a room that you're going to be this way, that way. I'm just saying I'm breaking the stereotypes that I know is being held against me. I don't know if you're holding to them, but I'm going to break any stereotype that you could have towards me. If you've never had to do that, then
you don't know.
You don't know.
And that's true, man. That is like, I can't stress that enough. And I don't want you guys to listen to this and be like, oh, Shep and Dion they're chameleons. Wherever they go, they blend in. And here's the thing. That's not what we're not saying that if we were in a crowd of white people, we're going to be, yes, sir, walking around like, we in a house somewhere. No,
right.
We're not doing that. We're telling you that that's just the lifestyle that you have to portray because there are stereotypes. But if we're in a situation, and we both have done this, if we are in a situation where we're in a predominantly white room and something comes up that is wrong, it is not only our obligation to speak up, but to do it in a way that represents every black person voice. Like we're the only one. So you got to be educated enough to fight for to fight for the things that you see are wrong. And that's what I'm saying. Like when you grow up, like, I don't know if you have that thing as white folks, like you have to like be so just like, you have to be able to speak it, but you got to know what you're talking about because when you speak, you are representing not just you, but almost you speaking for black people, whatever your thing is. For us, it's an FCA. For us, it's in ministry. Whether you be a teacher, it's black teachers. If you're a professional athlete, it's black athletes. You're not just speaking for, you. Like the documentary, The Last Dance, they got on MJ for not supporting the black Senate guy in North Carolina. But MJ was speaking for MJ. He didn't realize that when you black, you speak for them. You are the voice of the people, bro. Like people are living through MJ. So when MJ doesn't speak up, black folks don't speak up. And he failed to understand that where Muhammad Ali did, right? And when the guy won, he said, there ain't no celebrate in Mudville today. And I'm like, what?
Right, exactly.
Did he just say that on TV? He just said, ain't no celebrate in Mudville today. And I'm like, you have to understand. And LeBron does a great job of understanding his platform for this reason. Like when you're black, you have to not only play well in your sport, you got to be an advocate. You got to be well spoken. You got